Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Counsel Babu, an officer of the court. I'm here to represent our client, Your Honor, and would like just to give you a brief background of what transpired, which you are aware of. Your Honor, on the said Sunday, our clients were arrested while attending a political rally. And Your Honor, they were presented before you on Monday. Your Honor, they did not get access to legal representation as required by the law. And this, Your Honor, has led us to where we are today because of the exorbitant bond that was given then on that Monday. And Your Honor, this leads me to briefly talk about the cab rank rule, and that it is a professional ethics that applies primarily to advocates in common law jurisdictions. And that, Your Honor, irrespective of the nature of the case, the reputation of the accused persons, their identity, alleged conduct, whether guilty or innocent, the accused persons are entitled to legal representation. And the main purpose of this principle, the cab rank principle, is to ensure access to justice for everyone, including unpopular or alleged controversial clients, which our clients are not. And number two, to prevent any discrimination against any client. And number three, it reinforces the principle that every person deserves legal representation. And this rule came as a result of taxi drivers waiting in a queue, Your Honor, where the first taxi driver in line must take the next passenger, rather than choosing any desirable customer. Similarly, advocates should not pick and choose clients based on any personal preference. Therefore, Your Honor, this principle is often associated with a famous advocate, Thomas Askin, who was a British, and he argued that if advocates could choose whom to represent based on personal approval, then the liberties protected by the legal system would be endangered. He later became Chancellor in Britain between 1806 and 1807. He was an advocate of the civil liberties. Your Honor, we are guided by the professional duties under the Constitution of Kenya, the Advocates Act, and the Code of Standards of Professional Practice and Ethical Conduct, which emphasizes that everyone is entitled to legal representation. Why am I stressing on this, Your Honor? Because lack of that legal representation could have led to the exorbitant bond terms that were imposed on Monday, as at Monday. Therefore, Your Honor, I would like to breathe some life to Article 48, which talks about access to justice. The state shall ensure access to justice for all persons, and if any fee is required, it shall be reasonable and shall not impede access to justice. Article 50, Your Honor, also talks about, guarantees the right to a fair hearing. And Article 50, Subarticle 2H, talks about to have an advocate assigned to the accused person by the state and at the state expense. And therefore, at that level, Your Honor, I would like to put some blame on the prosecution, because having noticed that our clients did not have legal representation on Monday, they ought to have moved with speed and offer such service, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Article 159 of the Constitution talks about the judicial authority, Your Honor, and Article 159 sub-article 2 states that the courts shall be guided by the principles including justice shall be done to all irrespective of status, and number 2, justice shall not be delayed. Number 3, the purpose and principles of the Constitution of Kenya shall be protected and promoted. And I'll give you an authority, Your Honor, in Rundle versus Worsley, House of Lords, 1969. Lord Reid stated that no counsel is entitled to refuse to act for any person, however unpopular or even offensive he or his opinions may be. Therefore, Your Honor, to summarize all this, it is our prayer that you further review the bail terms that were imposed on Wednesday, the bail terms of 10,000 Kenya shillings, to these clients, Your Honor, who are earning 500 shillings, should they get a job in a day, cannot afford this exorbitant bail, Your Honor. To them, they've never even touched 10,000 shillings at a go, Your Honor. When you look at them, these are Kenyans who are really struggling on a daily basis to make ends meet, Your Honor, but are still in prison to date because they cannot afford the 10,000 Kenya shillings, which goes against their right to liberty. That is Article 29(2). Your Honor, the court having been convinced that the accused persons shall attend court, it only means that the cash bail ought not to have been punitive. To them, Your Honor, this 10,000 Kenya shillings is so punitive. And the bond and the bail policy states that the cash bail should be applied in a manner that suggests that it is not punishing before trial, because at all times the accused remains innocent until proven guilty. That is Article 50, sub-article 2A. So the doctrine of innocence, Your Honor, and to that extent, it is clear that the accused persons are still in because they can't meet the bond terms. And therefore, unless the court intervenes, Your Honor, and grants them favorable, accessible, and affordable cash bail terms, then the whole aspect of having been granted bond or bail will serve no purpose and will be a nugatory. Your Honor, you know that exorbitant bail terms amounts to denial of bail. And it is our prayer, Your Honor, that you leave these innocent Kenyans for free on personal bond terms. Your Honor, as I was communicating with them, talking to them, I've been informed that there are those who are sick in prison, there are those who are suffering from diabetes. There's one with an iron rod on both legs, Your Honor. We have patients in prison instead of being in hospital. And Your Honor, there is also one who on that day, on that Monday, got